Yes, YouTube, it's Jav here. Today, guys, I'm going to take you through a crazy leg workout. I might sound a bit sick. I've got the Christmas bug. It's currently December 24th, and I don't know about you, but if you've been in London the past 2 weeks, everyone I know has been getting sick. But anyway, we're going to forward straight to the workout at Pure Gym. It's a full leg day. I haven't been in the gym for about 3 or 4 days, and my training has completely changed because I've been training Muay Thai 3 days a week and gym only 3 days a week, which is a lot less volume than I'm used to. And my strength has definitely been suffering because of it, but I'm getting better at Muay Thai, and that's the whole point of doing Muay Thai. So if you want to see how I train my beautiful legs, keep watching. Let's go. Kicking things off with a decent warm-up. I'm not a big fan of warm-ups, but I know how important it is, and I know as a professional I probably shouldn't say this, but I try to get through the warm-up as quick as possible. So I kick off with some gorillas or some modified Russian baby makers, whatever you want to call them. I take my shoes off, and as part of my warm-up I just do some light squatting with a weight I know is pretty easy for me. The reason I don't wear shoes for squatting is just for a better sensory feedback, although sometimes I do use lifting shoes. I have a pair of Adidas lifting shoes which I do like with the elevated heel. It allows me to get a little bit deeper in my squat. But for my warm-up, literally just some lighter squats, just going as deep as I can, just nice and controlled, keeping my core nice and tight, and really just trying to activate my hips, activate the glutes. One thing I could do better here is actually just hold a little pause at the bottom just to keep opening up my hips to prepare myself for some heavy weight. After this, basically, I had to put the bar down because the clips were too low. So I had to press the bar overhead and drop it to the floor so I could put the clips a little bit higher for me. I get straight into it with some 100 kilo squats, a set of 8 reps here, which is pretty good for me. I know I can do more than 100 kilos, so this is a challenging weight, but I know I can go up. The main thing here that I'm really focused on is good depth, really feeling it in my hips, keeping my core nice and tight. And I like to start off every squat with a deep breath, so you might notice that I have a big gulp of air because I'm not really someone that likes to wear belts or anything like that. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with wearing belts. Obviously some of the strongest guys in the world, they wear belts. I just choose not to because I want to try and get as strong and as far as I can without any assistance until I feel like, okay, I can use this and get to the next level with my training. Now, a big thing I will mention is my leg strength has dropped off quite a lot because I've started training Muay Thai, and I've actually dropped my weight training from 6 days a week to 3 days a week, which I've had a noticeable effect. In this set, I add 20 kilos, so I've got 120 kilos on the bar right now for 6 reps, which is pretty comfortable. I felt okay doing this, and then I just moved straight into 140, so 3 plates. I wanted to hit 6. I only hit 4. But guys, I want you to focus on good depth. The main thing I'm trying to do here is have the same depth for each set regardless of the weight. And some key technique pointers: keeping your heels nice and flat, pressing the knees out as you descend, making sure that back doesn't arch, and keeping the core nice and tight. If you can do that, I promise you'll do just fine. And then I finish it off with some sets at 150 kilos, only 3 reps. But again, you can even see here my depth kind of suffered a little bit, so it could mean the case I've got to stay at 140 for a few more weeks before going up. Just remember that, guys. I then add some front squats. For this, I went a lot lighter just because I wanted to get some volume in there. So I started off at 100 kilos. I love front squats. I actually prefer them. You really need to keep your core nice and tight, or else that bar is going to fly forward. Also, I know a lot of people suffer with wrist mobility. If you can't do the grip that I'm doing, maybe you can do a cross arm grip, or you can use straps to help with the bar. I'm going pretty fast here because I just want to bang out some reps and get some volume in the legs with a lighter weight and really target my quads. Due to my lack of weight training at the moment, I am hitting the posterior and anterior chain. For this, I'm hitting some reverse lunges, pretty basic standard, not doing anything fancy, no Bulgarians, no front foot elevated. The main thing here is stepping back, bringing that back knee down. I purposely do not touch the floor. Something I've been taught as a kid is to not bang the floor. It's very unstable. It actually causes you to lose tension. I'm not saying there's a right or wrong way to do it. This is my preferred way. I like to go nice and heavy with these. And then I move into some Nordic hamstring curls. This is one of the best exercises you can do for your hamstrings. It strengthens it in the eccentric phase. It's great for injury prevention. So if you've had any hamstring injuries in the past, I recommend doing this. I banged out about 4 sets of 8 reps here. I then moved into some RDLs with the dumbbell, again nice and heavy. You can see how I'm hinging at the hip here, and a lot of people suffer with back pain, but if you look here, I've almost got a 90-degree angle with my hips, the way that I push my hips back at the same time while hinging forward. I like to view it as shaving my shins while pushing my ass backwards. Those are my technique tips. Trust me, it works, and I get a really big burn on my hamstrings when I do them. And then lastly, calf raises. If you've got a machine, if you don't have a machine, it's fine. You can do standing calf raises, you can do elevated calf raises. This is great for obviously improving your calf strength. If you suffer with small calves, which most of us do, you just gotta use lots of volume, nice and controlled, slow the reps down, and I promise you the calves will grow. This is really important as well if you play sports, because your Achilles tendon is actually a very, very powerful tendon in the body, which helps with sprinting. So doing your calf raises will help with that. My advice is to make sure you're doing this at the start or the end of every leg day, and if you want to really see them grow, you might need to tag them on the end of an upper body day as well, because the calves are a stubborn muscle to grow. I will tell you that right now. And then lastly, I literally just finished it off with some mobility. Workout was off the back of a week of being sick, so I've been at the gym for 3 days. So I would usually do some cardio, but I just thought, you know what, let me do the mobility work, which I know I've been neglecting, and I'm sure 90% of you guys are neglecting as well. So I kick it off with some glute stretches just to really open up my hips. My right side is a lot tighter than my left. You can see I'm actually just struggling just to kind of sit in that position. This is something that I would recommend you guys do every single week, at least 2 or 3 times a week if possible. I usually hold my stretches for about 30 to 40 seconds each, and I usually repeat them 2 to 3 times. Obviously, I'm not going to do all of that, or else this video would be about 25 minutes, and I don't want that. So I stretch both sides, and then I just start to move into the hip flexors. I really would advise you to make sure that you activate your glutes here, and you almost tuck your pelvis in. You don't just want to be pushing forward, but you want to tuck your pelvis in at the same time, so you can feel that stretch in the quad and deep in the hip flexor. It's not just a quad stretch, it's not just a hip flexor stretch, it's actually both. And you really want to open up the hips while doing this. You can see me here changing a bit of music while doing it at the same time. Then I get into a deep squat hold. This is a very comfortable position for me. I'm actually very comfortable here, and I think a lot of people should really be doing this at least 2 or 3 times a day. I add in some thoracic mobility in there as well. You can see I'm pretty stiff in my upper body, and that's always something I've struggled with and I'm really trying to get better at. I'm even more stiff on my right side, which you're about to see. I'm almost ashamed to actually post this, but it's something you got to work on, man. Mobility is probably one of the hardest parts of training, because it feels like you don't see any progress no matter how much you do it. And then again, I'm hitting my glutes again. The reason I like to really stretch out my glutes is because it really does help open up the hips. So my advice to you is, if you feel like you've got really tight squats where you can't get that deep, I would advise you to really think about opening up your glutes and really getting your glutes stretched out, because that will open up the hips. Again, remember to hold these moves for about 30 seconds each and repeat them 2 or 3 times. I then move into a little bit of upper body, stretching out my wrist. I think this is important for me because I have been doing Olympic lifting this year, so when it comes to doing things like cleans, front squats, presses, split jerks, I do start to feel it in my wrist because I don't quite have as much mobility as I would like. So I do add this in every now and then I finish off with some basic stuff, literally just stretching out the hamstrings. I know some of the flexibility gurus on YouTube say that hamstring stretches are not that useful, but I actually feel a major benefit. I never used to be able to touch my toes, and I just carried on doing it, and now I can touch both my toes pretty comfortable. That's it for today's workout, guys. This is something new for me, but if you have anything you'd want to see me do next, please put it in the comments. I would really find that helpful. Thank you. What we saying? They're looking alright, you know. Look at that. Hey, if you do that leg day, that's gonna be you. Anyway, guys, I hope you found that very useful. If you want that full workout plus more, download my free 2-week 6-pack program. It has about 10 workouts in there, cardio, calorie calculator, all of that, and it's absolutely free. Plus, if you want to help me out, please donate a coffee to the channel. But I want to help you even more. So if there's any particular workouts you want to see, please let me know. My workouts have been changing a lot recently because I've been doing a lot more Muay Thai. So I'm training for strength, power, speed, explosiveness. And I'm trying to incorporate a little bit of Olympic lifting in there as well, because I did do 12 weeks of one-to-one PT with an Olympic lifting coach, and I love Olympic lifting. I'm getting better at it. So I'm trying to incorporate all these things into one program. So if you want more workouts, just put in the comments, upper body, lower body, how can I get faster? How can I improve my leg kicks? How can I improve my running speed for football? Remember, football is my background. So guys, thanks for all the support. Like, share, subscribe. Spectrum Fit, it's Jav. Peace.